Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. Video number 4 coming for Conference Championship Saturday. And we're in the Big Ten now. Michigan versus Purdue. Big spread here. Let's go.
Welcome to The Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
All right, Big Ten Championship, Purdue versus Michigan. Like I said, the line is Wolverines minus 16.5, and all the early action is on Michigan. 78% of the tickets, I think it was 74% of the tickets, 98% of the money or something like that on Michigan as of Monday morning. Check it out though. So the books react to all that Michigan action. They moved the line from 16.5 up to 17, and 17 may not be a major key number, but it's still a key number. And when it hits 17, here comes some Purdue money. And actually, things are starting to even out though, and the books don't like it. When that Purdue money started coming in, they dropped it right back down to 16.5. So we're looking at Michigan minus 16.5 again. So let's cap this game. If you subscribe to this channel, you already know the first step. We're running the numbers through the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Michigan minus 22.39. So that's about a 6-point lean on the Wolverine. All right, so let's break this matchup down. And there's a couple unique angles here to go through. Obviously, Michigan finds itself in a similar situation it was last year in a Big Ten championship game where they're heavily favored. Obviously, last year was Iowa, and they handled that shit. They won, I think it was 42-3 over Iowa last year. But one thing that's definitely different this year is Michigan's sitting at 12-0. Last year, they were at 11-1, so they needed to beat Iowa last year to get into the college football playoff. This year, I think it's pretty safe to say that Michigan's going to the college football playoff, whether they beat Purdue or not. Another difference with this year's Big Ten championship game is their opponent. I don't think you can find two more polar opposite football teams than Iowa and Purdue. I mean, we know what Iowa is. Not much offensive power, certainly no passing game. Program's definitely powered by its defense. And then you got Purdue with Aiden O'Connell, who's going to drop back to pass 40-45 times. We know that before they even take the field that's what they're going to do. Purdue is 121st in the FBS in run play frequency. Only 10 teams in the entire FBS pass the ball more frequently than the Purdue Boilermakers. And that's actually something to consider, because if you look at Michigan's schedule, they really haven't played many pass-heavy offenses. In fact, through Michigan's entire season, they've only played one team all year that's in the top 25 in pass play frequency. That would be the Indiana Hoosiers. And number one, Indiana is a terrible comparison to Purdue because Purdue's a good football team and Indiana isn't. Hoosiers are terrible. That being said, the game was tied at half. Indiana had the ball in the third quarter, tied 10-10 with Michigan. Now, Michigan's defense is absolutely elite. They're top 5, probably even top 3 in the country. I'm not sitting here saying Aiden O'Connell coming in is going to light up the scoreboard against the Wolverines defense. Absolutely not. All I'm saying is he's going to come in and drop back to pass 45-50 times in this game. And Michigan hasn't really seen that. It may catch the Wolverines defense off guard a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Now, if we look at the flip side, when Michigan has the ball against this Purdue defense, obviously huge mismatch here. Purdue's defense is definitely not the strength of their team. That being said, I think Purdue's defense gets a little bit of a bad rep. It's kind of like the Texas Tech defense where people just look at the final scores and are like, oh, that defense sucks. But they don't take into consideration that the team runs a shitload of plays because they throw the ball a lot. Obviously, a game when there's 100 plays run, there's going to be more points scored than in a game where there's only 60 plays run. It doesn't matter if the defense is good, bad. I mean, if you run almost double the plays, you're going to score more points. Purdue's defense is about average, maybe slightly below average. That being said, I don't care if Blake Corum is out. Purdue is sitting at just 11th in the Big Ten, allowing 4.4 yards a carry on the season. I don't know how in the hell Purdue's defense plans on stopping this Michigan rushing attack. And I know there's some Michigan haters out there who are going to be like, yo, Sauce, just throw 8 guys in the box, take away the run game, make J.J. McCarthy win the game with his arm. Yeah, duh. Obviously, that's the way to beat this Michigan team. You don't exactly need to be Bill Belichick to come up with that game plan. But here's the thing. That's been every single team's game plan against Michigan since September. And guess what? They're 12-0. In fact, only 3 teams on this entire season have come within 16.5 points of Michigan: Iowa, Illinois, and Maryland. Now, Iowa and Illinois are self-explanatory. Both have top 10 defenses in the country. Maryland doesn't. In fact, Maryland has a worse defense than even Purdue does. So why don't we take a look at the Michigan-Maryland game, see how the Terps were able to cover, and then we'll decide if we think Purdue can repeat that performance. And I got some good news for you, Purdue fans. Maryland was able to move the ball on this Michigan defense in the Big House. 397 yards of offense. In fact, Maryland turned the ball over 3 times in that game and still only lost by 7. Aiden O'Connell has not been turning the football over recently. In fact, if he continues to protect the football, doesn't get greedy, takes the underneath throws that Michigan's defense is going to give him, I think Purdue can keep this game close enough to either cover this number or set themselves up for a backdoor cover late. One last thing I want to mention. Now, I would never call the Big Ten championship a meaningless game. That's crazy. But look at it from Michigan's perspective. They're not Georgia. Georgia got caught napping last year against Alabama, so they're not going to let that happen again. Michigan, on the other hand, is sitting at 12-0. They completely slept Iowa in the Big Ten championship last year. They're in the college football playoff whether they win this game or not. Is it crazy to say that maybe Purdue is able to catch Michigan a little flat in this game? I don't think it is. This is the Big Ten championship. This is huge for Purdue. Michigan's looking forward to the college football playoff. It's a big line, 16.5. I'm taking the points here. Give me Purdue plus 6.5. Let's go. If anything changes with this bet, I'll let you know on Twitter, so give me a follow there if you're interested. Also, if you want the final tickets we give out, the bet of the day, top bets, parlays of the day, that kind of stuff, head over to KyleKirms.com or download the Sauce Network app. Conference Championship Saturday, followed by a loaded NFL Sunday. Let's bring in some units this weekend. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you on Twitter.